my voice in when I said, "And we are now live."
Yeah, I think that's going to be the thing going forward. That's just going to be like the thing.
Nice. Yeah, it's a little behind the scenes type thing. I
Yeah.
like it. So, all right, we are live.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, episode 3 of season 2 of Scheduled for One Fall. I am Patrick alongside La Fama Blanca and Mr. Black Market Ivan. Val is missing. She might be here, might not. Neck beards, hold on to your neck beards and just stay tuned. Danielle, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing quite well. What's going on with you two?
I'm okay. Still, playing Forza 4 and a lot of WWE 2K19. I've been relaxing and listening to, my song "Don't Rush" with Rick Wilson, which you can stream on Apple and Spotify and Tidal and Google Play and Pandora and anything else.
Every streaming site.
Yeah, every streaming
It's
site.
awesome.
And the song is going to be in a upcoming episode of High Maintenance. I've never seen the show, but I've heard good shit about it. I guess it's a show on HBO.
That's
about a guy
awesome, man.
Yeah, about a guy that sells weed. So I'm going to check that out at some point. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 93 and it's in its second season. So I'll see what's up with that. Other than that, I just been chilling, going to the gym, trying to get lean and buff so I can smack the shit out of some neck beards at some house shows or maybe Warrior Wrestling too.
Ooh.
And that's about it. What's going on with you, Mr. Ivan?
Man, same thing. Yeah, just working, trying to fit in like a round of Black Ops for a day.
Oh,
It's very fun, very fun. I did download Forza 4. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but all I want to do is be driving around London and hear your song play. That will be a very special moment when that happens. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, guys, so listen, before we discuss the lovely, delicious, succulent liquor that we're going to be drinking this fine evening, and one of La Flama Blanca's liquor facts, I would like to shout out, and I'm going to do this every episode, I'm going to shout out the top 3 countries besides the United States that listened to our show, that are downloading our show. The top 3 countries besides the United States. Number 1 is the United Kingdom. Of course, shout out to everyone in the UK that supported us, Pat, even since the BMI days back in the day.
Yeah,
huge community in the UK. We love you guys. Notable mention to Tardley Dan and host of the Gamesman podcast. Then, number 2, Sweden.
Ooh. Sweden. Ooh, I like the Swedes.
Guys, Sweden has 1 download less than the UK. 1.
Wow.
So, like,
feeling the love over in the European countries.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Is Sweden considered Scandinavian, or I don't know.
Oh, probably Scandinavian. But, okay, I take it back.
But no, I really don't know. That's a good question. But can someone from Sweden tell us on Twitter who you are? Because I didn't know we had any fans out there.
Not me either. That's
new.
So
I love it. I mean,
same thing in the UK. Like, obviously we know Harley Dan, but anyone else, please.
Yeah.
Slide into our DMs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
DMs in Sweden are called flugens.
Flugens?
Yeah. Okay. So slide into our flugens. And then number 3, and this is disappointing to me, okay? Canada. But that's a way low number 3. We should have more listeners in Canada. Come on, guys. We're neighbors. We are 9-hour drive from Canada, and we have downloads from that, but it's just not anywhere near as many as Sweden. Come on, guys.
All right, so all you mother Canuckers don't start downloading our fucking show. But we do appreciate the people that, from Canada that do listen to the show.
I do love Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I love that country. You're my other home. So.
Yes. So, I don't like their bagged milk, but other than that,
yeah, that's a little weird. With that said, the one universal language on this planet is liquor and the gesture of clinking two liquor glasses together for a cheers. But before we give a cheers, Danielle, what is this week's liquor fact? And what are you drinking?
Well, fellas, all listeners out there, did you know that a item is something that can be consumed called fried beer exists?
Oh, you're talking my language.
So it is a dish consisting of ravioli filled beer and it's fried to a crispy perfection. I'm looking at a picture of it and it does look like a ravioli like without any sauce, or like you're just looking at the pastry element of it. But I didn't find any reviews on the taste, but it won the most creative award at the 2010 Texas State Fair.
That is interesting. Beer, fried beer.
Oh, the whole thing about like warm beer is kind of nauseating, but
yeah,
if it's in any kind of bread product, pasta product, I am down to try. So we all got to go to Texas, man.
All right, yeehaw.
And well, with that said, what are you drinking?
Oh, well, I have a beer this evening. I broke out the seasonal collection of Magic Hat, and I'm going to be cracking open a Hefeweizen called Circus Boy. Are you ready for this, guys?
Go ahead.
Beautiful.
And how about you?
And you drinking straight from the bottle?
I'm sure. I'm not. There's no pour for me tonight. I'm just gonna take it from the bottle.
For me,
go ahead.
For me, I have my my trademark Maker's Mark, but this time it is a shot of Maker's in a little glass with some Coke Zero on ice. There's the sound. Cheers. And Pat, I know you're going to the gym afterwards, so you're probably not drinking anything right now. But what's going on over there?
Kind of. Okay, so I went to the store today, and I'm like, I want to get something, but I don't want to, obviously for the show, but I wasn't about to get like vodka or any crazy shit. So I saw this shit called Henry's Hard Sparkling Water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I grabbed a case of the shit, and it had like 3 different flavors. It had lemon lime, it had strawberry kiwi, and some other girly shit. So I took a can of lemon lime, and I'm currently I'm holding it in my hand, no sugar, and it tastes like someone took a piss in this can and probably put like a drop of 7-Up in it, but mostly 98% piss, 2% 7-Up, and that's what I'm drinking is Henry's hard sparkling water, lemon lime flavor. Probably would never get this shit again.
But what, there is liquor in it?
Yeah.
What's the percent?
It's some girly shit. 4.2.
All right, you know what? The 4.2. That's all right. That's all right.
Wait, okay. I have a Hefeweizen. It's 4.5, so that's not bad.
It's not bad, but oh my god, I'm gonna take a sip. This. Oh
my! Wow,
that sounded like piss.
It just sounded very wet, which obviously makes sense, but it just sounds wet, which is worse.
Speaking of wet, Pat, would you? Maybe it's too vulgar for this show. You posted something on Instagram today saying this is why you hate Facebook, and I think it. So just follow Pat on Instagram. We can't repeat it on. It's just the stuff, Danielle. That.
Okay, disclaimer. Okay.
Tell your kids not listen
my
to the next
Instagram is pretty much music related, like all the stuff that I got going on. But in my IG stories, it's anything goes because it disappears in 24 hours. Like you see it and then it goes away. And so, Ivan, you want me to say what it was?
I mean, I think it's hilarious. I think it's and it reminds me of why I don't use Facebook either.
I'm gonna vote a hard yes.
And I think this show is pretty much rated R. So if you think it's worth sharing, I think it's worth sharing.
Okay.
If not, we can just direct people to your page.
I will read it. Okay. So I was going through my Facebook feed and a guy post this. This is the post he read. He wrote, "I don't care if that pussy stink, as long as it's wet. I don't mind a little mop water."
Oh, what?
And the little emoji of like
Oh,
squirting.
yuck! Ick.
I'm on
Yeah.
lunch today, scrolling through Instagram stories, and I'm like, oh, it's Pets. Let me see what he's up to. Let me see what music, what beat he's working on. And I see that statement, and I'm like, yep. I'm never getting back on Facebook now.
Yeah, and I'm definitely on a Facebook strike. I haven't left a status for like almost a week now, so been doing good.
That situation just made me pull out and pull off my fake eyelashes. That's how intense I reacted to that.
That's amazing. Well, cheers to that, and cheers to mop water, and let's
cheers to all the dirty vadges out there.
Oh,
yeah,
shout out to any family that's listening right now to the show. Thank you for listening. So, all right, guys. So I think this is where and I know you have the sound effect, but I'm gonna say quick news hits.
Thank you.
But you can still add the sound effects later.
Yes,
later.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna put it right on top of what you just said.
He's gonna put it so loud that you can't even hear what was just said.
Okay, so quick news, Impact news. Jordynne Grace, she signed a 2-year deal with Impact Wrestling. I'm actually excited about that. Obviously, we want to see people, go to NXT, but I think this might be a good thing for, Impact has improved a lot. Bound for Glory was pretty good outside of the ending, and give her 2 years to do whatever. I know Impact's a little more flexible with people still working the indies and shit, so she'll be on TV and stuff, and hopefully we will get a feud with her and Brian Cage. A little tease at All In. So she's at Impact Wrestling, and she signed a 2-year deal with them. So congratulations to her, Thick Mama Pump. I'm actually like a big fan of her. She's one of the many females that I'm like a fan of. So that's pretty dope.
That's awesome. And Val is not here, but I'll read her news hit. She said, I'm not sure what this has to do with the wrestling world, but she said that she has quit her job at Wrigley Field beer vendor and is now working at U.S. Cellular Field with her new favorite team, the Chicago White Sox. So good job,
wow.
Val. Congratulations.
I'm ready for all the daggers and bunch of Malort going to be thrown in your face.
Yeah. Congratulations, Val. And she's also going to a roller derby tournament in Saudi Arabia. Please be safe out there. I don't think that's legal over there. Danielle, what about you? What's your
wow?
Oh, well, there was a spoiler alert about the NXT UK Tag Team Championship belts. There's a photo that leaked on the interweb, and they're just gonna look beautiful around thick boy number 1, Mr. Trent Seven. Okay, just had to throw that out there.
Nice. Two thick people within the first few minutes of the show.
Oh wait, there's another thick boy coming up.
Oh man.
Well, thank you. Me. So it's my turn. Okay. So my news hit is Fox. We all know that WWE has made a huge deal with Fox coming up for next year, and so far the rumor has it that the business meetings have centered around Fox wanting SmackDown to be a little more sports centric to fit in the block of programming that's going to center mostly around football, American football. So they want SmackDown to be like maybe less comedy and a little more sports. So maybe sports type interviews, people like Jonathan Coachman, just kind of having that vibe overall. So probably no Truth TV, but we'll talk about that later. But
sucks.
So that's that. Hey, once again, if this month teaches us anything, is that anyone will sell a piece of their soul. Anyone will sell a little piece of their identity for the right amount of money. And unfortunately, WWE has proven that several times already this year. But Speaking of which, let's talk about some WWE. Danielle, NXT UK premiered.
It premiered
hours ago. Like maybe like 20, 30, 40 hours ago. But
I was about to say what?
Actually, I think the pre-taping was like a month ago, but hey, we're just not gonna talk about that.
It's a few hundred hours. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So NXT UK Cambridge is where I believe they're gonna just, like it's gonna be their Full Sail University.
Do you know the name of the arena?
I was listening for it. I didn't catch it while watching the show, so I'm not too sure on that. And I could have Googled it, but I didn't.
Okay.
I think it's Austin Power Center.
Oh, yes,
No,
that makes sense.
Okay.
That's why everybody gets all
sponsored by Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we started out the evening with a match between Joe Coffey and Mark Andrews. Joe Coffey came out with his brother. And if in our notes, which unfortunately you guys listening won't be able to see, I put thick boy number 3 because Joe Coffey is a nice thick boy. He defeated Mark Andrews. And then at the end of the match, both Joe and Mark got in the ring and started attacking Mark Andrews. And Flash Morgan Webster made the save by coming in with his whole ring gear as well. And he has like a speed racer type of helmet and just whooped ass on the Coffey brothers. And that's how we set the tone for the rest of the night. We follow that up with the thick boy number 1, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bates, Mustache Mountain, coming out to give kind of like a inaugural speech on like it's been a long time coming, and that they're thanking Cambridge and putting the whole roster over pretty much, and that this is arguably the biggest day in British pro wrestling history. It was, I think, timeline wise, it was probably like a 7-minute speech. They closed out, or Thick Boy closed out with a shout to NXT UK, and it was a nice little. I think they should have opened with that, but they wanted to throw a little teaser with one match, and then have the guys come out and just kind of make a statement of like, we're here and we're here to stay. And then we follow it up with a little hype video promo with Dave Mastiff, which his name is very fitting because this is a big boy.
Mastiff is a dog, right?
It is.
Is he a part of the Puppy Pound?
Yeah, hey! No, that's a elite club.
I'm the real big dog.
Well,
that was good.
I was unfamiliar with this gent, so watching him wrestle, he is a cannonball powerhouse, I will say. So they have this little hype video, and they follow it up with a match with him versus Sid. I'm probably going to mess up his name, but Val can come in and correct me.
Wait, call Val. See if the pronunciation's right.
Sid Scala? Does that look right?
Don't know. Don't care.
Well, even though I was watching the show and I couldn't. I just can't. I'm not retaining how they pronounced it. But
okay, I would think William Regal would say Sid Scala.
Oh, that sounds proper.
Scala.
But the Cannonball himself defeated this poor little man. So
now, when you say Cannonball, I did not watch this. Are you saying he's like fat and round like a cannonball?
I want to use the word fat. No, he's a round man.
He's like Rhino.
Yeah.
F.A. Rhino.
Yes. And then War Machine, or War Raiders. I mean, oh my gosh. Shh, don't tell WWE I said that. He's just a big guy,
just a big boned man.
Yeah, he's not thick boy status to me, but he's just a big man.
I do need to know later what you categorize as thick, but we'll move on. Right? Because Pat and I, I'm sure, have differing opinions on what we consider thick, but I'd like to know your scale, just for the neckbeards to get prepared for.
Thick boy number 1 is Trent Seven, then that should be a good gauge. Okay, we follow it with an interview with Nina Samuels, who did this. They did a little hype video of her planning to be the first NXT UK Women's Champ.
Who that? She thick?
No, not at all. Actually, no. Quite
Jesus.
the opposites, I would say. Quite the opposite. And tonight she was going to make an example of Toni Storm. They follow it up with the match, and Toni Storm, of course, come on, that's their it girl right now over there, and she defeated Nina. Like, it was a good match, but we all saw it coming. So she will be the first champion, I'm pretty sure. There was a little moment where the GM had I'm just going to say promo, where the next week's main event will be Tyler Bate versus Wolfgang. And everybody like shook hands with each other. It was a very classy British thing to do. And then we followed up with, of course, the headliner. The match everybody should watch. If you watch anything of this premiere show, watch this one. It's Mr. Pete Dunne, the bruiserweight, facing Noam Dar. And of course, he's not gonna give up his belt this soon. He retains the title. They did their like little taunts and moves and spots. It was very entertaining. Pete Dunne, anytime he's in the ring, overperforms. So definitely check it out. I am pretty invested and interested. Like, watching it this morning, I was like, okay, we'll see. And for right now, NXT has been kind of flatlining for me. So I look forward to seeing how the UK sister branch will do. I'm very interested, and we'll see. We'll see next week. We'll let us know.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
So, do you think, like, in the future, that when we have these takeovers, is it going to be half NXT, half NXT UK, or you think they're going to have their own pay-per-views? Like, what do you think is going to happen going forward?
They're definitely going to keep it separate, because they have enough in the roster to make a claim, especially with the little spoiler picture reveal of the tag team belts. They're gonna definitely make it an individual brand. It would be phenomenal for them to combine the two. Like, and they probably will. Let's just be honest. They probably will for
Survivor Series or something like that.
Yeah, there'll be some type of crossover takeovers, which will be amazing. Let's hope Chicago will be on that run down the line. If not, hey, Schedule for One Fall has to fly to.
Gotta go across the pond.
We could be part of press. We'll get there, guys. We're almost there right now.
No, Danielle, I do have a quick question. Because I did not watch it. To me, it's very important. And every time SmackDown or Raw goes through a change, it's very important to me. How's the graphics package?
They're the same.
Same exact like title, like when the name.
No, it's not the same in font. You mean like
everything fonts when someone comes out? How is their name displayed? Like the splash, like that type. Because NXT has kind of a damaged cybernetic look, like where it has a lot of glitching and chromatic aberration and stuff like that. So is NXT UK like a little cleaner, more royalty looking?
Yeah, that definitely. There's like the crest NXT emblem that they're, or what do you call that? Like the family crest.
Yeah.
That
coat of arms.
Coat of arms. That's it. There's that theme, but when the names come up on the screen, it's the same NXT font that we have. But everything else, all the rest of the imagery and whatnot, is unique to they're definitely making it its own. But you can there's the gold and red and black element to it. Okay. So they're adding the red instead of just black and gold.
Oh, the little okay.
There's the red accent to break it up, I guess.
How's the theme song?
Interesting. It's like influenced from the main NXT show. It's got rock and rap, I would say. That it's like they mixed it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. We'll see.
See? They dropped the ball. It should have just been an updated version of the British Bulldog theme.
Oh,
That's what it should have been, but
no, really. Well, Pat, because Pat, I think you and I share the same passion for the graphic elements, like when someone's title card looks different.
yeah.
Like that stuff is really important to me. So, have you seen the stuff for?
No, I haven't. I can only go off of WWE 2K19, and I know that's not the correct, because I know like I downloaded like a UK Arena, someone like recreated, and I think they used the old NXT from like 2012 or whatever, like when they first came out. So they was using that shit. So I haven't actually seen the UK version of NXT yet. I completely forgot that it was even starting this week. I know they started in like a weird time too. Wasn't it like at 3 in the afternoon or some shit like that or something?
I think so. I watched it this morning because they had no time to watch it actually on Wednesday. So I don't know what time it's supposed to air, but I think you're right. It's like in the afternoon because it's streamlining to 7 or 8 p.m. UK time, which would make sense for it to be aired 3 or 4 p.m.
Yeah, it's 5 or 6 hours ahead of us, depending on the time of the year. But cool. Well, once again, I'd be very curious to know if our UK friends, our UK listeners, watch that. So that's exciting. So
hey,
cool.
Yeah, if you're listening and you want to be a correspondent, please, we could use eyes on the ground.
Oh, hey,
yeah.
By the way, I'm sorry. Speaking of UK, Hardly Dan said greetings. He's in the chat. He said greetings. Why is there no video? Do you need Uncle Dan to buy you some webcams? Well, Dan, thank you. But I think that the adult nature of the show, we're drinking, sometimes smoking. Who knows what else is going on?
Not dressed fully,
not fully dressed,
like right now.
So, but one of these days we'll have a live show with all of us on camera. But Dan, Dan, as a UK resident, what do you think? WWE NXT UK, is this something you might watch? Let us know in the chat. So Danielle, back to the States. How was NXT this week? Just plain old NXT.
Oh man, I have to. The beer fizziness is making me want to belch, so I might break up part of what I'm about to say right now. So pardon me. We started last night's NXT with the Tag Team Championship up for grabs. It was a match between Undisputed Era and War Raiders. A very cool match, of course. Everybody's delivering here. There was a brief moment with Adam Cole Bebe running to the ring and trying to attack, if you want to say, Hanson, but there was a weird moment that even commentary was like, I guess the ref's using his discretion and not disqualifying anybody, because I guess technically Undisputed Era would still retain the belts, which is the whole idea. And that's what ends up happening with a freshly recovered Bobby Fish running to the ring with a chair and just hitting and demolishing War Raiders. They get taken out, it's DQ, and then it shows all of Undisputed Era reunited at 100% health. So, that's pretty much saying, like, bring it to the whole roster. We follow that up with a women's match, which Britt Baker, okay, I know I've been kind of out of the loop the past couple weeks, but I didn't know she is competing in the main roster.
I didn't either.
I didn't know.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to do some quick research before life happened and I had to go to work. But yeah, she fought Miss Shayna Baszler and lost because Shayna does her dumb move that looks horrendous with the elbow and kicking it. I don't remember the name of the move, but
horrendous. Like it looks painful, or you hate
it. It just looks bad, but it looked kind of botched. Like Britt moved her arm a little fast, so it didn't look as horrible and painful as it usually does. But the ref, calls off the match because Britt Baker, who's a weak little puppy is like, I can't wrestle, and is like crying in the ring and all that stuff. And Shayna, I believe, runs and like smacks her or kicks her and then exits the ring and goes to the back. Mauro had a funny like moment, which I don't know if this was on purpose. He does things on purpose, but he's like, "Oh, Britt Baker, you mean Britt Breaker?" And I was like, I don't know if that's supposed to be against her.
I think it's a pun. I think it's a pun.
It's supposed to be a pun, right? Like,
Yeah.
but the way, like, or did he actually just fuck up her name? I don't know, but oh well.
Oh, by the way, we didn't even acknowledge he was. What was he? What was he? He was in a New Japan audience.
Yeah, he was at the California.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about that. Anyways, yeah, it was cool to see him at last week's show or 2 weeks ago in the audience at Long Beach. Yeah. Anyways.
Well,
I'm shocked he didn't get fired for that. But go on.
I know they had him on camera and people were chanting "Mamma Mia." Anyways. Oh, pardon me. Sorry, I warned you guys. It was coming. We have another tag.
You're good. No, you're good. The neckbeards are probably trying to sniff their phones.
Oh God.
Get a whiff.
I'm cringing right now. We have a tag team match between Bing and Rocky, which were premier wrestlers, I'm assuming, because I've not seen them on any tapings of NXT, but they were trained in Japan. Hopefully they give these guys a shot. They have a cool style. I like the ring gear too. We'll see. They fought Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. We all know they're giving these guys a nice little push. Wow. Push. I'm not even that drunk and I can't even speak. Whatever. I just lost my place.
Bing
in the notes.
and Rocky versus Lorcan and Burch.
Sorry, my phone went haywire. Okay. After that, we followed up with the main event, which was Miss Nikki Cross and Bianca Belair. And they've been building this matchup for a little bit with Nikki Cross, like shouting EST and writing scribbles in dark hallways like a horror movie. Pretty great match. I have to give props to Bianca Belair because her ring gear had so much glitter on it. And they were grappling so much, so the ring mat was covered in all this blue sparkly glitter, and it was very appealing and pleasing on my eyes. So keep it up, Bianca. I love your shit. Pretty intense match, but it ends in a no contest, if you want to call it that, because there's no ref. There's one point a move is done, the lights go out, before the lights come back on, Aleister Black's music hits the intro. The lights click back on. Aleister's sitting in the middle of the ring. Bianca is nowhere to be found. And Nikki Cross is on her stomach in the ring as well, just laughing maniacally and rolling around. And Aleister summons her. He like takes his finger, he like calls her over. And in his deep, raspy voice says, "Tell me." And Nikki crawls in the slowest way possible to him, whispers in his ear, and the camera zooms in on Aleister's face, and he starts shaking and foaming at the mouth, and the screen cuts to black, pretty much. And that's NXT in a nutshell.
That's awesome. I love Nikki Cross.
That's shit.
So I guess
I think I want to watch that right after the show.
I guess we'll see what happens in the upcoming weeks, because I don't know when this episode was taped. So normally I pay attention to the crowds, because you always can see bitch face Izzy somewhere in there, and you can tell by her clothes.
Here we go.
How many weeks have gone by? But I didn't pay attention to the crowd this time. That's how interested I was. So overall, NXT this week. NXT UK has me 100% invested. This week's regular NXT is making me fall back in love with it. So we'll see what happens with this Aleister Black, Nikki Cross segment.
Good. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
I like that they are mixing the two. And before we move on, we've got our friend Hadley down in the chat. He's saying, hey, he would love to help us out with being NXT UK correspondent, as he is in the UK, but he does not. He doesn't have cable either. He's a cord cutter like us, and he says out there he'd pretty much be looking at about 2 AAA video game releases a month, so about $120. So maybe, who knows, maybe 150 pounds out there for the privilege to watch wrestling. So I guess out there they don't. Yeah, exactly. So
wow, why?
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe the licensing out there is a little different.
I'm gonna say someone's gonna have to hook him up with a fucking WWE network.
We may do. We have to gift him one. Yeah. Now, but yeah, I'd rather gift him a New Japan.
Yeah. Sure.
And then here's another thing. Here's a slight detour. He goes, "Hey, now Hardly Dan, he's got a beard. You know, he's a many. I said he's got a good amount of facial follicles, and he said, "Hey, I'm kind of a neck beard because shaving gives me a terrible rash, and I kind of resent that comment." So I told him, I said in the chat, I said, "Listen, neck beard is more of a lifestyle, right?" I said it doesn't really have to do with your beard, because Pat, you said the other day you've got technically a neck beard. You are not a neck beard though. So
I'm not a neck beard, but I do have a beard that's on my neck.
So neck beard means a few things. I will let the listener define it, but I mean, I guess neckbeard would be someone who still says puppies when he sees a female wrestling. It would be someone who, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. But neckbeard is just a gross, undesirable person that makes you embarrassed that you like wrestling.
Just one of those annoying fucking guys at the show that's dressed like Kevin Owens.
Yeah, Kevin Owens is semi-chauvinistic and
like one of those guys that's like him and like 2 other people there chanting, "Show your titties."
Yeah, there's zero conversation skill and has no type of personality to even override the lack of a conversation.
Yes. So don't worry, you're exempt from it. And then what's up, M, in the chat room? And he wants to know in regards to Hardly Dan. He goes, "Where's the rest of Dan?" That's a great question. And then we have Mr. Jamal in the chat room. So guys, the chat room is hot tonight. Thank you everyone for joining. We've got representatives from the UK. We've got, and my brother, my brother from another mother, because we keep everybody anonymous in the chat. M, he said, "You guys are literally describing old ECW fans." That's true. But you know what though?
Yeah, but ECW fans were like Rhino, and Rhino is thick boy OG.
But here's the thing: an ECW fan would beat the hell out of you.
That is
right.
True.
They would break a beer bottle.
Whoop your ass.
They would break now those same guys, you'd be like, "What the hell did you say about my girlfriend?" They'd be like, nothing.
Man.
And then they go on Twitter and talk about how they called the cops on an offensive ethnic person yelling at them.
Yeah,
armchair activist.
Armchair. I don't know. I don't know.
Armchair offender. Okay, I'm gonna crack it open for those.
Crack one open. Everyone, be quiet.
For all the stupid neckbeards out there, this one's for you.
But guys, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Jamal in the chat. Shout out to M. Shout out to Dan.
Yeah.
So guys,
shout me out. Thanks.
Nah. So then,
damn.
Nah. So Danielle, thank you for updating us on everything. I need another drink. Listen to this, guys. This is the worst sound in the world. Jamal in chat. This Maker's Mark is empty. What do you think about that? Meanwhile, while I grab this drink, Pat, why don't you tell us what happened on 205 Live?
Well, I hope you're going to get your drink and come back soon, because this is about to be over in 30
this
seconds.
Is like the shortest little recap I think I've seen.
Yeah, Akira Tozawa defeated, he didn't defeat, him and Drew Gulak went to a no contest. I believe the Brian Kendrick came out and helped Tozawa, which was kind of weird because Brian Kendrick is more of a heel, but he's I guess he's changing up a little bit. And then you had Tony Nese, the 205 Live Buff Bagwell, defeated Cedric Alexander, TJP, Grand Metalik, and Leo Rush. Which is
interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So still no. I don't think there was a sighting of Mike Kanellis this week, but I didn't get a chance to see 205 live this week because I was too busy in the gym trying to get down to 205.
Eh,
So
well, you're doing better than most of the roster because at least
mhm.
you're getting some recognition, you know.
Yeah. So while he's still looking for something to drink or whatever, I guess I'll
Yes.
go right into Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
Um
Tell me about it.
um very undesirable show. I see why the ratings are going down. I
So
just don't get it.
so it's good that I've missed the 800th episode this time.
Yes, yes, you missed absolutely nothing, and I'm just gonna run through this stuff, and if I can remember little quick bits, then I will, speak on it. But so they started out the show with the Intercontinental Championship match. No, it wasn't for the Intercontinental belt. It was for the qualifying of the White Power Cup. Seth Rollins Seth Rollins defeated Drew McIntyre via countout, which was actually a good match. I was surprised at the match. Like it was like a pay per view almost. It was like pay per view quality match, pretty good. You had Nia Jackson, Amber Moon, in some odd pairing against Dana Brooks and the returning Tamina. Tamina looked amazing. She is one of the female wrestlers that I love to root for, just because I think she has 3 kids, and she's always on the road. There was a spot where she lifted up Nia Jackson, gave her a Samoan drop,
Oh wow,
and
nice.
I thought that was really cool. That thing, to do that, and she had a bad ankle too. Like that was one of her injuries. So it was really good to see Tamina back in the fold, and Dana Brooke kind of on her own now. The Bella Twins came out and confronted Ronda
Ugh.
Rousey.
Ick.
Yes, I know, but it was actually a good segment with Ronda Rousey actually getting in a little little quick little diss, saying the only door that the Bellas have ever knocked down is John Cena's bedroom door, and
We just had
so
to take a brief moment to talk about the security guys overselling her whooping their
oh
asses.
yeah, yeah, they sold that shit like they got shot with a shotgun.
Yeah, especially that last guy. He was like,
Yeah, that last guy.
"Oh no!" It was so.
Yeah,
That's the only clip that I saw from Raw, and I was like, "Yep, no, I'm not gonna watch it."
yeah, they definitely oversold that. But hey, you gotta look good on camera, man. They might call you back to be another security guard at another show. Then we had Raw Tag Team Champion Dolph Ziggler defeating Dean Ambrose. Yes, another white guy to qualify for the WWE World Cup, and I
That's so
believe,
unfortunate.
yeah, and I believe Seth Rollins came out to try to help, and some bullshit happened, and what's his name? Baron Corbin came out and said, "Hey, I want to give you guys the opportunity to redeem yourselves, and it would be a rematch of last week, the Shield versus the Dogs of War," which is fucking stupid. Because why would a heel general manager give a babyface group another opportunity? Like it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, Finn Balor defeated Jinder Mahal, and then we had Bobby Lashley destroying Tyler
Wait, who?
Breeze.
You mean Bobby Eyebrows, right?
Bobby Eyebrows, yes, yes, destroying Tyler Breeze. I feel so bad for him because he tweeted, I think right before the show, like does it get any better? Or something to those, like, to that extent. And Cody Rhodes replied to him and said, "No, you got to get out there and like see other shit." So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, Bobby Lashley destroyed the shit out of Tyler Breeze, and I know Tyler Breeze is just hoping and praying that Fandango comes back. And I don't know if you've seen Fandango lately, but he is cut the fuck up. He is like shredded, like, he's like Jinder Mahal, like shredded. Like it looks weird, but pretty dope. But it was also cool to see Bobby Lashley as a heel. I don't know if you guys are familiar with his work in Impact. Um,
Yes.
when he was the original OG belt collector, and he had every belt in the promotion besides the women's belt, even though I think they were teasing that he was going to go for it. Um, it kind of gave me shades of that, and it was pretty cool. But once again, and I don't think we're going to talk about it today, but the mixed match challenge shit. I hate when people are heels on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, and then their face on the midnight or not midnight, the Mitch. I'm drunk.
Mitch's
I guess
match challenge.
that 4% ABV
Yeah,
is
it's
hitting
starting to
you.
creep up on me. Yeah, the mixed match challenge. So like yeah, but it's stupid. So moving on. Alexa Bliss and Mickey James, they confronted Trish Stratus and Lita. Nothing pretty much to talk about. Just you know, I
I
don't even
hate
know how to.
I hate everything you're saying right now, man. It sounds like the worst episode of any show ever.
Yeah, it was pointless. I mean, I like that they're trying to get the Evolution pay per view over, which they should by all means. Because I'm tired of them talking about Crown Jewel. Um, but I'm not interested in this match right now. So moving on, we had AOP. Before that, Baron Corbin. I guess he confronted Kurt Angle because he was backstage wearing a Hawaiian shirt and a fucking straw hat because he's back from vacation, and he put Kurt Angle in a match against AOP. So AOP comes out, and out comes the what's that? The Conquistador. Like the shit that he had on last week. Um, AOP destroys the guy. They take the mask off. It's some Rudy Poo, probably some guy that was at All in the fucking audience. And Kurt Angle comes out and Olympic slams Baron Corbin on the ramp. So I wonder if they're setting up some type of beef between them where they will fight at Survivor Series, or Kurt Angle's going to have a team and Baron Corbin's going to have a team, something stupid or whatever. I don't know. Natalia defeated Ruby Riott via disqualification. Didn't see that match. Um, Not that it was a piss break. I just didn't see it. My Sling TV kind of went out. Um, then we had Elias come out. He, did his normal shit. Who wants to walk with Elias? Yeah, man, I've been traveling. Yeah, the typical, shit that he does. And out comes Apollo Crews from the dead. I've been waiting for this for like 2 years, and it looks like they're gonna give him some type of push because he confronted Elias, and he said he's tired of waiting, and he's tired of people getting opportunities before him, and now it's his time, and he beat the shit out of Elias. Then we go to the main event, which was the Shield defeating Braun Strowman and Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Before that, um, what's his name? Braun Strowman was like, "You guys better not screw up because if you do, you're gonna get these hands."
Oh my gosh. You didn't tell me you got Braun Strowman actually on our show.
Oh, but you know what? If I can get drunk enough, we can have Braun Strowman every fucking week.
I
Yeah.
love it.
So obviously someone fucked up in the match. Braun Strowman after the match power slam to Dolph Ziggler, and out of nowhere, Drew McIntyre hits a claymore on Braun Strowman, knocks him the fuck out, and walks out the ring. So
Why wouldn't Drew McIntyre's Claymore not knock you out?
hey, I don't know what claymore you're talking about. I'm talking about the kick.
Talking about the only important Claymore, okay?
Okay. So it looks like the Dogs of War have now disbanded, and it looks like Drew McIntyre is he was the only guy left standing. Once again, like I said, horrible show. Didn't really care for it that much. Didn't really care for WWE promoting Crown Jewel. But I will say one tidbit about that though. They kept promoting Crown Jewel, but they didn't say that they were going to be in Saudi Arabia. They just said the name Crown Jewel. So they didn't say, "Oh, we're going to be in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be a special event." They just said Crown Jewel. So I'm hoping and assuming that they got a backup plan and they're just going to do it somewhere else. So, with the reports that, obviously the journalist that went over there and he was killed, and the information came out that the guy was dismembered and his head was cut off and shit, a whole bunch of wild stuff. that happened, and
Actually,
yeah,
in the
like
chat
80%.
is Mr. Harley Dan. Is it the same coverage as much as it is over here? Shit, you know.
Of that?
Yeah, like
Of that, yeah,
I'm just
yeah, that's
curious
like a
because that's
yeah, it's
like
like a
such
big thing.
headlining news here right now that if it's as documented of a situation in the UK.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This is this
What?
yeah, it was it's big, you know.
And yeah.
So
Oh yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't know about it. He's in the chat.
yeah. So
Bat Dan does not know about it.
yeah. So yeah, once again, Crown Jewel will be happening November 2nd. We just don't know where the fuck it's gonna happen. It can probably happen in fucking Alabama, as far as we know. But they did, if you go to the website and look for tickets for Crown Jewel, it doesn't come up anymore. It says Crown Jewel, but it doesn't say like where it is. So
Wow.
let's move on to the lackluster 1000 episode of SmackDown. I was
Oh, that
very
was a
excited
big
about
night,
this.
wasn't it?
Yes,
Oopsies.
I was very excited about it. I thought that they were going to go all out for this. 1,000 episodes. Because they always go out for Monday Night Raw, like 10th anniversary, 15th, like is always like big shit. Um, no, they didn't do anything. They didn't bring back the fifth set. I thought they was going to bring back the giant fist. There was no Taz on the color commentary. Like it was just a lot of things that was missing. No Christian. I thought that he would, he was part of the SmackDown brand. He's, someone that, you know, was worth a damn. It was a
No
lot.
Eddie
It was.
Guerrero. What the hell? Why couldn't they get Eddie Guerrero?
Oh,
No Chris
Oh.
Benoit.
that's.
Ah.
Ugh. I don't know how I feel about that.
Ah. Yeah, no, yeah. There was definitely no Radicals reunion. There was an
No
Evolution
Mobby.
though.
Mobby
No,
wasn't
no,
there.
Dean Malenko.
Dean
Yeah, no Dean
Malenko. His hair is
Malenko, but
gone. Oh.
yeah, so we started out SmackDown with a Truth TV segment. I personally enjoy these segments. Our Truth and Carmella are pretty funny. Out came Stephanie McMahon as a heel, talking shit as usual. Then out comes Shane McMahon with the worst Air Jordans I've ever seen in my life, and he's normally a guy that, because I'm like a sneakerhead too, so like he normally wears like good Jordans, but I'm thinking he's wearing it because of that scam, that Susan G. Komen stuff. So they were white and pink, but they were like horrible. And then out comes the man, the stepfather of 90 billion neckbeards in the world. Vince McMahon comes out, and he actually dances with R Truth and Carmella, and like they all had a little segment. It was pretty funny, pretty dope. Um, then we had a surprising match: the Usos taking on Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles. The Usos actually won this match because there was a little miscommunication between Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. Obviously, they're going to play that off because they have their match at the Crown Jewel, which will take place probably at Jewel on Broadway. So we'll see what happened with that, and then out comes Evolution, which was probably the best part of the show, which is sad because it was a fucking promo. You had Triple H come out, talk his normal shit or whatever. Ric Flair does his woos and shit. The best part, I think, Randy Orton, who actually shaved and looked like Randy Orton from 2004, and he was actually wearing a suit. He basically buried everybody that was an evolution, saying, like, even though Triple H runs the show, Ric Flair, he's living through his daughter's accomplishments, and Batista's more in a makeup chair than he's in a WWE ring, while he has continued to be in a WWE 13-time champion and, blah, 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 just putting himself over. Then Batista gets on the mic, and I'm pretty sure he went over because he was talking for like 10 minutes and shit. And it was a little weird because he actually put everyone over. He put over Randy Orton, said he was the he had the most talent uh, out the group, and he knew that he was special. He said, there's nothing we can really say that we don't know about Ric Flair. He's done it all. And then a little joke happened in the ring. I'm pretty sure it was cut out in the Hulu version, and I know it was cut out in the WWE YouTube version, where he told Ric Flair to keep it in his pants. So,
Oh.
I don't know if that made it to the Hulu version, but then he gets to Triple H to say, he's a 14-time champion. He's done it all in this business. He's done everything in the business except beat him. So they kind of teased a WrestleMania match. I'm assuming Batista versus Triple H. And the crowd actually went crazy for it, and the fans love to see Batista. I think he got the biggest ovation out of all the stuff that happened. Then it was a backstage segment with Teddy Long, Vicky Guerrero, and John Laurinaitis, and Paige. Pretty much boring. Then we had The Miz defeating Rusev to qualify for the White Power Cup. Um, Once again, another minority gets beat. So now you have a total of 7 white guys in a World Cup, which should have had Rusev in it. It should have had Drew McIntyre in it. It should have had Kofi Kingston in it. You got Aleister Black. You got fucking Pete Dunne. That's a real World Cup. So you can't have a World Cup when you got 2 white guys going, and then 2 of those guys, they just was pretty much putting the match with John Cena, and then Kurt Angle didn't really have to do shit to get into it. Um, so the Miz beat the Rusev to qualify for the White Power Cup. He's actually my choice to win the whole fucking thing. Then we had another highlight, Becky Lynch on the cutting edge with Edge, who returned. It was pretty cool. He's really good at promos and talking shit or whatever and getting people hyped up and shit like that. And Becky Lynch basically just killed them on the mic and told them, look, how about you get the hell out the ring, and while you're at it, try not to hurt your neck on the ropes while going through the ropes. So, the heel move, loved it. Her and Charlotte Flair had a brawl. We saw a sighting of Fit Finley. He was one of the old guys that came out and broke him up, whatever. Um, weird, weird match. The Bar becoming the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions against the New Day. And I have no problem with the Bar actually winning the titles. It's just how they did it. And Big Show turning heel for the 70th time in his career just comes out, fucking chokeslam Kofi through a fucking announce table for no fucking reason. And he helped the Bar win. It's not like they're going to be like a whole group. They're going to be a stable or anything. He just fucking came out to do it. So maybe we're setting up maybe a Big Show versus Big E type feud or whatever. And yeah, we had a awkward pairing of Booker T and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary during that match. And if you watch or listen to Heated Conversations with Booker T, his podcast, you would know that he completely can't stand Jerry the King Lawler. Just mostly for political reasons. We all know that Jerry the King Lawler is like a big Trump guy, and Booker T's not with any of that shit.
That's tremendous.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. And shout out to Booker T though. He tweeted a photo of him. I'm a big listener of his show. He said, "Look, give me 2 or 3 weeks. I want to take a picture of me in the gym, and I'm going to show you how fit I am." And he took a picture, and he is in complete, like, he looks great. He looks like he can get in the ring and like still do it at the age of 53. So shout out Booker T. Then finally some minorities, 2 minorities in a qualifying match for the White Power Cup. Rey Mysterio obviously beat it. Shinsuke Nakamura. Any idiot, any neckbeard, any person with shit for brains would have known that Rey Mysterio was going to win. You don't bring back a SmackDown legend just for him to lose in his first match back. And I'm pretty sure the fucking Sultan or whoever the fuck is running the Crown Jewel don't know who the fuck Shinsuke Nakamura is. Everyone knows who Rey Mysterio is. So Rey Mysterio has joined the White Power Cup. Then we end SmackDown the dumbest way possible. And you know what? I love the Undertaker, but he is stealing money at this point. He literally just walked down the ramp, which took him about 30 minutes.
8 hours?
Yes. Walked down the ramp, got in the ring, and just said, DX will rest in peace, and walked away.
That was it.
That was it. That's
so
all he did.
sad. How did it not end with Rey Mysterio and Shinsuke? That boggles my mind because that's why people tuned in.
True, but you know, I would have ended it with the Evolution skit because it left a cliffhanger.
You're right.
Because it was very tense. Like if you haven't seen it, like when he said that, like Triple H was like kind of livid, like looking at him like, what the fuck? And you know, and then you had like Randy Orton kind of playing it off in the background, like, you know, holy shit, and you know, Ric Flair, you know, just looking drunk as usual, you know. so yeah, it was pretty cool. So SmackDown was it could have been better, but you know, whatever. Enough of that. Mr. Black Market Ivan, can we please go to Japan and get some whatever they eat in Japan, hibachi.
So since
ramen,
since the plane ride is so long to Japan, while we're on our way to Japan, I'm gonna address the chat room. Okay, Hardly Dan wants to know, Pat, as a sneaker head, he wants to know if you've seen the new PS4 Nikes.
Yes, and I should be getting them in like 3 weeks. They're called they're basically modeled after the basketball player Paul George. He has his signature shoe, but on the front of the tongue is the PlayStation logo, and it actually lights up if you press it. So it's pretty cool. I'm picking those up in about 2 weeks. So they're really cool shoes too. They don't look that bad either. So
do they have the original PlayStation logo?
Yes. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so they're pretty cool.
Cool. And then what else? So Dan is going to bed. It is 5 a.m. in the UK. So good night. Thanks for staying up with us, Dan.
Nighty night.
And once again,
night. Keep your butthole tight.
That's a lullaby I'm gonna forever remember.
And once again, shout out to anyone in the UK and anyone in Sweden. Once again, to our number 2 and number 2 listeners.
Would it be 6 a.m. in Sweden? Or is it like how far away in time zones are they?
I don't know. But Dan, thank you. Good night. Val is in the chat room. I know she's still got some stuff going on. Val may still join us tonight.
Val, hurry the fuck up. I gotta get to the gym.
And then
he's counting down the minutes to bail out of the podcast.
And in terms of the journalist that was, rest in peace, killed and chopped up in Saudi Arabia, M in the chat room said nobody was chopped up. It was a work.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah. And then Dan said, "Yep, tighter than a duck's arse." So with that said, we just landed. We just landed in Japan.
Well, I know not to eat any duck while I'm here.
So right now we are on the road to Power Struggle. Power Struggle being the culmination of a Super Junior tag team tournament that is going on almost every night up until November 1st. I'm going to give you the updates on the latest show, which was on October 17th in Korakuen Hall, if I'm not mistaken. And once again, the winners of this tournament will receive a IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title shot at Wrestle Kingdom in January, which, guys, is only 2.5 months away. I can't believe how fast this year has flown by. I'm going to hit you with some matches that happened, and I'm going to hit you with the current league standings. First, we had all these are tag matches, okay? So get used to it, guys. It's all tag matches. First, we had Ren Narita, Shota Umino, and Tomoaki Honma defeating Yuya Uemura, Yoda Tsuji, and Ayato Yoshida. These are young boys, young lions. And then we had Chase Owens, Yujiro Takahashi, and Kota Ibushi, so the Bullet Club / Elite, Golden Elite, defeating Toa Hinare, Togi Makabe, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Then, and you know that this is an interesting show when this guy is not the main event. Kazuchika Okada, Toru Yano, Beretta, and Chucky T representing Chaos defeated Tonga Loa, Tamatonga, Bad Luck Fale, and Jay White.
That's upsetting.
Representing the Firing Squad. How are you going to have Jay White join Bullet Club and lose right off the bat? But it was to Okada, you know?
I don't give a shit.
Then the actual Super Junior Tag League bouts, these 4 are specific to the tournament and in which people receive points. So we had Tiger Mask and Jushin Thunder Liger, legends, defeating Soberano Jr. and Volador Jr. I believe they're both CMLL, Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, Mexican. Then we had Mexican. Don't build the wall. They're really good wrestlers.
Oh my God.
Then the debuting Robbie Eagles and Taiji Ishimori of Bullet Club defeating ACH and Ryosuke Taguchi. Then we had Shingo Takagi, which is the new LIJ member, and Bushi defeating Chris Sabin and Kushida. Chris Sabin and Kushida have a really cool tag team merch that says the future. I think it says the future of tag teams ... today. It's pretty cool going with the Back to the Future theme. Then we had Sho and Yo of Roppongi 3K defeating Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado. So the current Super Junior Tag League standings. Number 1, Ishimori and Robbie Eagles with 4 points. I like it. Tied at 4 points, Bushi and Shingo. So you got a little Bullet Club representation. You got a little LIJ representation. Then tied for 2 points, we have 4 teams. We got Volador Jr. and Soberano Jr., Desperado and Kanemaru, Sho and Yo, Jushin Liger and Thunder and Tiger Mask, forgive me. And with 0 points, Chris Sabin and Kushida, ACH and Taguchi. So Danielle, because you're right in front of me, from the teams that are in the current standings, who do you think will take this tournament and be at that event at Wrestle Kingdom against the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champions? Tag team champions. What team do you like on there?
Okay, so I feel because this is just a crowd pleaser, Jushin Liger and Tiger Mask is going to be up there. Because it's just, you know, it's kind of like the Undertaker and Hulk Hogan situation, you know? So
yeah,
it's gonna fill the seats. So that's what I think will be pushed. Everybody buckle in. Because I honestly think Chris Sabin and Kushida have a chance here.
God.
What?
Right, Pat,
I know there was 0 points, but I mean, give guys a chance.
Chris Sabin is amazing. Pat, who do you think will win? Who do you want to win?
Man, I think I'm gonna go with the same thing with Danielle, with Liger and Tiger Mask. I think they're gonna go because that's obviously gonna put the ass in the seats. But I really want Bushi and Shingo to go.
That would be amazing. I'd be LIJ all the way.
Yeah, like I'm a big fan of Shingo, and I've only seen 1 match of him, and I'm a big fan of him, you know. And I remember I was watching it with my girlfriend. She's like, "Is that Nakamura?" And I'm like, "No, that's not."
That's racist.
You're racist.
But she can't because she's.
Yeah, that's right. She's Asian too, so yeah, I guess it can work. I'll give her a pass. Yeah, so
there's so many Asian demographics though. What kind of Asian is she?
She's Vietnamese.
Oh.
Okay. So it's kind of the same, you know. Well, no, it's not the same. I'm gonna edit that out. She would
Holy
Miss
crap,
Val
Val's
Capone. Welcome to the party.
That's racist. That's racist.
Which of these tag teams? And I can say them to you one more time, unless you have the doc in front of you. Who do you
I
think,
have it right in front of me.
Who do you think will win, and who do you want to win?
Let me think.
There's no Zack Sabre Jr., so don't waste your time.
I know, because otherwise it'd be him and Minoru Suzuki Capone. I feel like Bushi. Yeah. And Shingo.
You think they will, or is that who you want to?
I think they will. I want ACH and Taguchi to win.
Nice.
Yeah, I like ACH.
I think that because it's Wrestle Kingdom, I think you guys are right with the Jushin Liger and Tiger Mask, but I would say Roppongi 3K has the clout. I think they will win it because that's a you could put that on the flyer. But I want Bushi and Shingo to win because I'm hoping that by January, Tanahashi will be back, and it can kind of usher in that new era of LIJ. So yeah, it looks cool. It's a cool Super Junior Tag Team tournament. So guys, with that said, welcome back, Val Capone. We are 11:18. We are nearing the end of the show. However, we still have the Mae Young Classic. We still have the Chicago update. But before we get to that, Val, how's your day going? Tell us. What's going on?
God, my day has been amazing. Actually, I was going to go to the gym, but I decided, nah, girl, sleep in. You got a long day ahead of you. And then I went and got my nails did for the show tomorrow. And then I went and got my first ever spray tan.
First ever?
First ever. Girl, I'm whiter than white could be white. I'm like, my Native American blood does not stand up at all when it comes to getting tan. It's like the Irish in me and like the Swedish Jew in me just burn city. You would think between the Jew and the American Indian that I would get a little bit of nope. No. The Swede takes over for sure. So yeah. It was a wonderful day. I went to the doctor, had some good stuff. My doctor actually told me that my cholesterol was, and I quote, phenomenal.
Okay. Yeah, give a shout out to that. Shout out to no cholesterol.
Shout out to them triglycerides, player.
Oh, I like how we are increasing our demographic to the geriatric.
Yeah, exactly. And also, my doctor was shocked to know that I'm Jewish, and I was like, "What are you talking about, dude?" He's like, "Well, I'm a member of the tribe. I didn't know that you were. You don't look." And
Wait
I go,
a minute, you're Jewish?
Yeah, Jewish. I mean, debatable. Like,
See,
I care more about wrestling than any religion. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I want new shit every week.
Yeah, man. And
but Val has addressed her Jewish heritage before. Pat, where have you been? I know where you've been. You have escaped the podcast. You left before she was able to tell you this information.
No. It's probably because I was smoking so much pot.
That's what I was saying. I was like, you were high. Yeah, because I've definitely done my Jewish grandmother voice before. So
yes, I believe I remember.
Yeah. Okay. But anywho, if you want to talk about wrestling,
yes,
let us talk about some women's wrestling.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't do it. They'll get hurt.
Do you have to wrestle? Actually, do you want to know something pretty cool? Which I don't know what I'm going to do with this information. But my doctor was like, "So first spray tan ever, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do ring announcing, and I'm the backstage correspondent for local indie promotion here for wrestling." And he was like, "Wait, so you're not a wrestler? Why are you not a wrestler?" And I was like, "Well, I thought that playing a full contact sport at almost age 40 was like good enough." And he goes, "No, you're really, roller derby's great, and I'm glad you're still playing after over a decade, but why don't you just wrestle?" So now I guess I got some stuff to think about.
You have the doctor's stamp of approval.
Yeah. All right, guys, listen. Everyone all around the world. Val, I don't know if you heard this, but we've got fans in Sweden. Number 3 top downloads are from Sweden. So I want everyone all around the world to close their eyes. Okay, listen. Just
drink some Malort.
Even if you're driving, close your eyes and listen. And I want you to imagine, right? WWE Evolution 3, okay, in 2 years, lights turn off, and you hear,
Why am I coming out to that song?
What isn't that Taz music?
And then you see the camera pan to the front row. The guy with the long hair and his mom were like, "Yes, yes!" The black guy that was shocked by the Undertaker streak is like, "Oh my God, he's making the shock face." The guys with the collar and elbow shirt is like, "Oh my God." The Brock Lesnar guy is tearing his Affliction shirt wide open. And Val Capone comes out and she's spraying essential water into the air like Triple H. And the whole puppy pound is behind her rejoicing that Val Capone has finally reached the zenith that she was born to be at. So why don't you tell us about the Mae Young Classic?
I cannot. I wish I would have recorded the visual element. You guys missed out. This was amazing. This was live theater in its finest.
I'm gonna go make another drink.
I saw somebody make a comment about why we don't have video, and I wish we did have video.
Oh my God! Today is the one day I'm regretting on not holding my telephone. Like that was epic.
We don't have video, but we have the results of the Mae Young Classic quarterfinals. It was awesome, just as much as I thought it would be. I legit had it playing while I was just working the show I was working because I wanted to watch it again. So the opening match started out with Meiko Satomura and Lacey Lane. Now, I don't have issue with Lane, but I'm still kind of surprised that she's made it this far in the tournament. I think that I'm probably going to become a fan of hers because I'm starting to like her more and more each week. But here's a shocker. Lane got taken out hardcore by Satomura. I mean, the head kick that she delivered was absolutely sick. And then she ended up with the Death Valley Driver is what got her the win. It was, I mean, it legit would have been, I would have probably not watched the rest of the Mae Young Classic, to be honest, if Lacey Lane would have upset Meiko. And it's not because Lacey isn't boss, because she's great and she's like an exciting talent to watch. She's small and mighty and oh so fighty, but Meiko Satomura for days. And then we have Io Shirai, who was supposed to be in last year's, but due to some heart issues, she actually was not cleared to compete. She was up against Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa. There was one point where Deonna kicked her in the chest so hard that Io Shirai did not get up. And I was sold, man. She was selling hardcore. I thought that, oh shit, are these the heart problems coming into play? Are they coming back together? But no. It was intense. There were so many submission holds that almost got to completion, but instead it was Shirai. She was just insane with her double running knees. That's basically her signature finish. When she does that backflip into a headbutt, you know that you're essentially dead. And unfortunately, that's what happened to our girl, Deonna Purrazzo. I know Vinnie Mac somewhere is sobbing because the Virtuosa is his main squeeze as far as like female wrestlers go. That's his absolute favorite.
I'm suffering with him.
Yeah, but you know what? She has such an awesome future ahead of her. And as much as it was a bit of a bummer to see her depart from the All-In roster, I'm actually really happy for her because she's worked so hard. And I've seen her on so many Shimmer shows. It's so awesome to see her on, through the WWE lens. So the next match was hard to watch. It was really hard to watch. The second time I watched it, I barely watched it. I just kind of looked away as often as I could because I felt like I was going to throw up. It was Rhea Ripley against Tegan Nox. And, you know, Tegan Nox got taken out last year as well due to injury. She had an ACL replacement surgery, and she was basically the unsung hero, if you will, of Mae Young Classic, both last year and this year. Everybody like championing her shiniest wizard. She's a phenomenal talent, really good personality, just wonderful, wonderful girl representing Wales. And she just has some really gnarly luck when it comes to injuries because she went to do, I hate calling it a suicide dive because I don't like that terminology, but she went to do a dive into Rhea Ripley and you could see instantly that her leg landed the wrong way. And it was absolutely brutal. It wasn't even like 30 seconds into the match. I think it was like 15 or 20 seconds into the match when it happened. It was on the ramp. She just landed awkward and you could see her knee just like bleh, I mean,
oh god, if I saw that, I would have said.
Oh, it was like like, but not just like but it was also like
which is the whitest and nastiest shit I've heard so far on this podcast.
But so here's the thing though. Here's a fucked up thing. Never mind all of us vomiting on air, and I was sobbing. But Tegan tried to continue the match. Like the referee, the female ref, she tried to call it, and Tegan was like, no, and she tried to continue the match. She had something like a dislocated kneecap. Part of her leg bone, I think, broke off. I know she tore her MCL, and I want to say her meniscus. I can't even recall, but it's all on her Twitter, so look her up.
Lord.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. That's what I can recall. She just posted something really sad but beautiful and inspiring and positive and heartbreaking. So the trainer came out and like it was bizarre that they let it continue. I don't know if they thought it was a work because of the year's previous injury, but this is her good leg now, folks. So she took a drop kick from Rhea Ripley, which an able-bodied, fully capacitated, if that's even the appropriate word, two-knee kind of woman wouldn't hardly survive a drop kick from Rhea fucking Ripley. Dude, Knox went down. She couldn't get back up. The referee was like, absolutely not. And they called the match. The crowd was like, I mean, it was really hard to watch. There was multiple people, men, women, children, crying in the crowd. Absolutely devastating. I mean, oh man, it was so hard. And, you know, when Ripley got announced that she was the winner and moving on, people applauded, but it was hard. Like, people cheered for Rhea because Rhea did nothing wrong. And in fact, props to Rhea for staying focused and selling the shit out of her being this, like, brutal, stomping bully, because she showed no emotion whatsoever, but not in, like, a bitchy, terrible way. Like, she just stayed in character 100%. And I think that's all you could really do, because what do you do? You know what I mean? At that point, it was fucking devastating. So Rhea Ripley moves on. And then the final match of the night between two of my absolute favorite female talents in wrestling today, Toni Storm taking on Mia Yim, the Blasian sensation. Both are so amazing as athletes and performers. It was such a great match. It was kind of a shorter match than I thought it would be between the two of them. But again, it was basically match of the night for me. It was just phenomenal just watching them work together, and you know, like so many submission holds, like just it was insane. There were so many near falls. It was so good to watch. And we know now that Mia Yim has signed to the WWE Performance Center.
Yep.
Which, yeah, applause all day, all the way. But part of the reason why she was able to do that so soon, because she lost in the quarterfinals. So she will not be moving on to the semifinals next week. So it's either going to be Io Shirai versus Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm versus Miko Satomura next week. And holy freaking shnikes, next Saturday, like a week from 2 days from now, I get to watch the finals live at Evolution. That's honestly like the biggest match other than like Charlotte destroying Becky twice that I'm looking forward to. And I'm excited to see Ronda Rousey and how that happens with the Bellas, how that shakes out. But yeah, I'm super fucking stoked for the Mae Young Classic finals at Evolution. So yeah, that's what happened in the NYC. It's a place to be.
Yes. Holy shit! That sound like that. It sounded like the Mae Young Classic was crazy. I wanted to watch that match, but once I heard about the injury, I was like,
It was really brutal. It was really, really hard to watch. And my girl Stephanie, that I watched, like she watched Mae Young Classic for the first time ever with me last week. She messaged me while I was working this show at the Riv tonight. She's like, "Hey, did you watch?" She like messaged me Tegan's post that she put on her Twitter page. And she's like, "Have you watched that match yet?" I go, "Yeah, but I'll definitely watch it again." And so then I decided to watch it here, and wow, it was hard to watch. So I feel kind of bad because Stephanie's getting into wrestling again. And she's so excited, and she loves Tegan Knox. And I was like, well, I guess her wizard won't be shining for a little while. But, ew. So let me give you the real quick Chicago update, because I know we just passed the 11:30 mark. Tomorrow, so excited. I got my nails did. I got airbrushed gear. I got a fucking spray tan, people. You better show up to Logan Square Auditorium, because Freelance Wrestling presents It Came From Beneath the Ring at the Logan Square Auditorium. Doors are at 8. Bell time is 9 p.m. It is a 21 and over event. There is a cash bar. And if you're worried about it being like, well, I don't know, I just spent all my money, blah, 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 $20 for GA. So, and general admission is kind of where it's at, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, the ringside seats are great, but just the GA crowd at Freelance is like no other. So of course it'll there's several matches on the card, but the one that I think everybody that listens would like to pay attention to would be the gimmick battle royale. I can't tell you very much about it other than a lot of the guys and girls on the Freelance Wrestling roster share in other well-known wrestlers' gimmicks. So you might see an Undertaker wrestling Deonna Purrazzo. You might see Shinsuke Nakamura wrestling, I don't know, Chris Jericho. I mean, you don't know. And that's like seriously one of my favorite things about Freelance, and why I became such a fan was the Halloween show has always had a gimmick battle royale. So cool. So there's an 8-man scramble match featuring GPA, Danger Mask, Space Monkey, Tony Naz, Jaden Spade, Bu Kudao, Kenny Sutra, and Matt Lancey. There's the 4-way dance between Eric Cannon, Kobe Durst, Darren Corbin, and I Candy Elliott, who I have a bone to pick with. That's okay. My name is Val. It's not that hard to figure out I Candy. Whatever. All Ego Ethan Page takes on the Man Scout Jake Manning. Craig Mitchell versus Caleb Conley. Ricky Shane Page takes on Alex Olson. Ashley Vox facing off against the hometown hero Kylie Ray in the women's match on the card tonight. That night. And the Freelance Tag Team Championships are on the line in the main event. The defending champions, the Workhorsemen, which is Anthony Henry and JD Drake, take on Isaiah Velasquez and a mystery partner due to Stevie Fierce having a pretty gnarly knee injury himself. He is unable to wrestle tomorrow night. It's not nearly as serious as Tegan Knox, but it is enough to keep him off the card. So get well, Stevie fucking Stevie. We love you very much. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's also going to be on powerbomb.tv. So if you are not able to attend and witness my spray tan in all of its glory, you can probably peep it on the interwebs. So be sure to tune in and, Freelance Res, that's WRES on Twitter. That's at Freelance Res. And let them know, that you like what we're doing. Because we like what we're doing. So hopefully you do too.
Does it usually stream live, or will it be available like the next day to watch?
You know what? That is an internet question, and I don't know if you guys know this, even though we met because of the internet. I kind of hate the internet, so I'm 100% not sure is my answer. Okay. I would imagine that you could stream it at a later date. They usually put up the matches and such, but I would say try watching it live because, there's nothing better than watching an event live. Or if you can come and see it in person, of course, that's the best option.
No, of course. That's great. That's great, guys. Yeah, tomorrow, 9:00, 21. I like the 21 over. But speaking of hating the internet, Val, did you happen to hear Patrick's story earlier about why he hates the internet?
No, I was serving beer to no one. I was serving beer to no one. Why? What happened?
No, just don't listen to it.
Well, I listen to our broadcast almost every.
Okay. Well, you can listen to it afterwards. Just make sure you're sitting down and make sure you haven't eaten anything. But we'll
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. You'll hate the internet afterwards too. So yeah, guys, everyone go out. I just need to see the costume. I'll do my best to be there. I need to see the surprise. And
I mean, I'm pretty excited, and the owner of the company is super stoked. He's one of the only people that knows what's going on, and he was like, "Yes, all the way, yes." So. All I know is I got 300 thumbtacks mailed to my house yesterday, so it's gonna be good.
Holy schmoly!
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, Pat, you going or what?
I'm going to try my hardest. I'm currently in Wisconsin, Cheeseland.
Mm.
So I want to try my best. I'm really am. I've been wanting to. I was supposed to go to Chicago like 3 nights ago, and it's funny. I was gonna go to Chicago, and then I saw Val make a post on her Facebook, saying that she wasn't drinking, and I was like, holy shit! I was gonna go to Nisei Lounge and like get fucked up off of Malort, but then I was like, I don't want to do it.
Well, you should still do that because I can still go out and be awesome sober.
Yeah,
However, I
I
said I
know.
wasn't drinking until after our show, which our show is tomorrow, which tomorrow night I might drink that breaking barrier just for you if you show up, Patricio.
I'm gonna see what I can
Yo,
do.
I like it.
I like that
I'm gonna
too.
see what I
Candy
can
corn
do.
Malort is on tap at Nisei. And
Yes, I
speaking
need
of on tap, they also have Red Dog on tap for the first time since the 90s. Yep, that
Red
happened.
Dog.
Red Dog.
Holy shit.
And just to plug my my employer / favorite bar on the planet a little bit, we are hosting a wake for the closing of the Wrigleyville Taco Bell the day of Evolution. I will be in Long Island marking out, but if
Yes.
you're in town and you want to drink Malort and raise a glass or two to your favorite chalupa, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That's seems like it's gonna be a lot of white people there.
Oh yeah. Well, but no, it's Nisei, so that's a cool thing. It's like there's
Yeah.
everybody there. That's the cool
Nisei
thing
is
about
cool.
Nisei. Yeah.
Nisei Lounge is very cool, except for that one lady that didn't take
Here
the
it is.
video. I forgot her name because I was
No,
drunk
she's awesome. Shut up. She was probably wasted. She was
too.
drinking
Yeah, she
Malort
was.
at Nisei.
She was wasted.
Shout out
She
to
was
Prick
gone.
Flair.
Prick Flair. Oh, it was just his birthday last week. Jay is gonna kill you.
Yeah.
He's in my phone as Jay Dunn because he loves Pete Dunne so damn much.
Oh wow.
Holy moly.
Well, other than that, so speaking of Chicago, Val, why don't you take us home with the before we do the social media shout outs? Whose ass are we throwing into the Chicago penitentiary this week?
Oh my God. So I so much agree with what La Flama Blanca is about to unfurl, the hatred. That's why I have asterisk C below times infinity. Because girl, you read my fucking mind. Oh my God. But my original thought before reading Danielle's, although like hell fuck yeah, I totally agree, girl, is absolutely the crown jewel pay-per-view bullshit. Put it away forever. Hopefully it's going to be taken off air. It's taken off their website. There's really few references to it. They're still doing this World Cup BS, but kind of everything's up in the air with this, journalists that y'all were talking about that may or may not have been chopped into pieces, which that's scary that this is our world. It's not just like Die Hard 6, It's absolutely effed, but F that PPVBS. That's what I say about the CJ.
So are we just going to throw, I believe his name is Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Are we throwing him in there? The Prince
and let's just throw all salmon in there too.
All salmon. So
except for Novalox because I'm Jewish.
Okay. We won't throw him in.
Throw his ass in there and
with a bunch of salmon.
He's a prime suspect in the disappearance of this guy.
It's absolutely crazy.
It's nuts. It's conspiracies, guys. Danielle, tell me what Evolution TV spot.
Well, it was airing during the UK and NXT.
They aired it. They aired it during regular USA programming as well, Danielle.
It's fucking terrible.
What is it?
They aired it at Raw in Chicago.
They pretty much have the ladies, the headlining ladies, saying sugar, spice. And are things nice or whatever the fuck they say, and it goes into this dumb thing of like the women doing some they're
that's what little girls are made of.
Ugh, yeah, air punching the camera and like are they nice kind of promo. It's just fucking stupid.
Oh.
So that TV spot trailer goes into the penitentiary.
Wow.
Fucking slam it.
I didn't watch enough any programming to have someone to throw in their pet. What about you?
Kind of the same thing what the girls are talking about. Crown Jewel, just the whole situation sucks, and I kind of want to put whoever is booking Evolution in there. I don't know who it is. We'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
I know they just announced like a battle royale, and
Oh,
like Tori Wilson, and like all these people, like they just basically put a lot of women just in the battle royal. That's pretty much gonna mean nothing. And I'm glad that Naomi called it out. Like, hey, like, so what's gonna happen if I win this Royal Rumble? Kind of like how I won the WrestleMania one, and I still didn't get my trophy nor my title shot.
yeah. So
So,
she went. So
so
she said, "So if I win, do I get 2 title shots now? Because y'all can drop my trophy off." It's like you don't really
yeah,
want that uterus trophy anyway, do you,
yeah, we
lady?
don't
I
want
mean,
the,
it's
we don't
cool.
want the, yeah, we don't want the uterus trophy.
I mean, I'm,
But
whatever.
yeah, like that's yeah, that's just bullshit. Just putting a lot of those women just in a bullshit battle royal. That means absolutely nothing. Not to take away from the event. It's just I feel like the battle royal is going to be kind of something like what the women's Royal Rumble is. We're going to get a whole bunch of old timers coming back. We might see Alundra Blaze. Who knows? And knowing WWE, they might fuck around and have Hogan present the fucking title, whatever, not the title, but the winner
The
at
only
the
way they can
women's
make
Royal
it
Rumble.
even worthwhile, in my mind, honestly, even remotely worthwhile, is if they name it after China. Speaking of evolution.
Yeah, that
Okay.
would that would that would be lovely. That would
Yeah.
be lovely.
So
Joni
shout out
Joni
to
Laurer.
the Joni Lauer Twitter page. Always, I will always retweet everything they post. And China for HOF forever.
Yeah,
Like,
they're definitely keeping her alive through that Twitter page for real.
thank goodness.
And it's crazy because a lot of times when celebrities or wrestlers or something like that pass away, I normally unfollow. But I keep the China one around, because it's not too creepy. It's just pretty much them pleading and stating facts why China should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. So,
Yep.
so I'm with that.
Well, so it sounds like Prince Abdullah wins
Oh God.
Here
the
we go.
prestigious
Okay, so
spot.
our social media shout outs for the week. I'm gonna kick it off because I actually do have to go finish up at work. I just came to my car to do this with you guys because I missed you.
Oh, that's
Aw,
nice.
thank you, Beth.
Yeah. So I just want to give a little bit of love to one of the current tag team champions, JD Drake of the Workhorsemen. His Twitter is at real JD Drake, just as it sounds. He and another wrestling super fan, awesome dude who's always at all the shows. We're gonna call him Cray Leota, whose Twitter handle is at Austin 316th, which is brilliant, by the way. They have started a conspiracy theory that I'm actually Isaiah Velasquez mystery partner for the main event. I hate to say it, but I am not. I wish I were, but I don't think my very first wrestling match would ever be for in the main event for the tag team championship. But you never know. You never know. And
You never
also,
know.
shout out to Eye Candy Elliott. Learn my goddamn name. I interview you all the time. My name is not Michelle. My name is not Candace. Although if you want to call me Candace this week, I'll allow it just for this week only. But Eye Candy Elliott is in a 4-way dance tomorrow with Kobe Durst, the Diamond Tiger, former freelance champ Darren Corbin, and the anarchist Eric Cannon. And I hope that they all make him remember my name. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
What you got? What you got?
I just want to shout out one Twitter follower. His name is Pucks Out There. He is kind of like his own pro wrestling tees. What he does is he mixes a lot of street like influences or like like music world stuff with wrestling. And he just dropped if you know the rapper Travis Scott, a lot of people call him Cactus Jack. So he just put out a shirt that's kind of a mixture of both, which is Travis Scott and the Wanted Dead or Alive, like Cactus Jack, old school black with the yellow background. Like I said, amazing guy, amazing work. I support the guys like that because we need people had to, not to take anything away from pro wrestling tees, because I love pro wrestling tees. They have like all the shit, but these guys, they have a lot of the streetwear stuff that let's say a person that's like, my color skin, my skin color, could go up and get some shit and be like, oh shit. So you might see for example, I'm trying to think, like a whatever famous rapper, and it's a mesh with the wrestling world. They put both of them together, and they come out pretty well. And I know, like, my other homie, Joel to sleep, he does. I think he does a lot of shirts for OG Bullet Club now. I know he did uh, Tamatonga's Bullet Ape shirt, which is a combination of Bathing Ape and Bullet Club. So shout out to those guys. And shout out to the people that fucking listen to the show. Even though there's been a little technical difficulties on Apple's end, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of that very soon. I want to fucking. Well, I can't do shit because they got host them. They're the only people that can host the fucking shit. So yeah, shout out to everyone. I love you all. So
awesome guys.
I think I'm done.
I would say I'm just gonna shout out. We always talked about them, the married marks, namely the spook. She's now called the Spooky Batch on Twitter. But for always retweeting our stuff and shouting us out, guys. So yeah, thank you guys. And Danielle, any social media shout outs?
All the people in the chat room tonight.
Yeah. Shout out to chat room. Shout out to Sweden.
Sweden, for real.
So guys, thank you, Val. Thank you for jumping on. I know you've had a hectic day, and it was a good time. And yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat. And guys, so Evolution is it this Sunday or next Sunday?
Next Sunday.
Next.
Okay, so next week we'll have a final preview, and let's just pray that Crown Jewel gets canceled. I don't even want it to be.
It's not going to get canceled. I'm telling you, it's
going to happen somewhere. Huh?
They're going to have the show. They're going to have the show. It's just, oh, Yoshi's barking at someone, but
yep.
Yeah, they're going to have the show. It's just not going to be in Saudi Arabia. I feel like it's going to be like in fucking Gary, Indiana or something.
It's going to be at Val's new place of employment, U.S. Cellular Field.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. So I guess that ends this week's episode scheduled for one fall. Once again, I am Patrick alongside La Flama Blanca, Mr. Black Market Ivan, and Val Capone. I will see you motherfuckers in about, how many hours is in a week? What, 92?
Okay, Google, what's 7 times 24?
The answer is 168.
168 hours.
All right, 168 hours. See you. Goodbye.
Brah, brah.